Leaving Stonehenge and the start of astronomy-based architecture, the Neolithic period, behind, we shall fast forward to another very famous era of time and the world, ancient Egypt, specifically between 2700 BCE and 2200 BCE. The pyramids of Giza were made for the Egyptian pharaohs Khufu, Khafre, and Menkaure. These incredible structures were built as tombs to honor the pharaohs in their journey to the afterlife. However, while the pyramids were not made with the sole intention of stargazing or astronomical symbols, they also have a lot of intentional references to the stars and hierophanies of this day. One great hierophany is the arrangement of the three pyramids of Giza, which are thought to mimic the pattern of the three stars on Orion's belt in the Orion constellation. According to the ancient Egyptian religion and everyday beliefs, the constellation Orion was associated with Arius, the god of the afterlife, resurrection, and rebirth. This cosmic connection reinforced the idea that pharaohs were divine beings destined to ascend to the stars after death. The sides of the pyramid trio themselves are also perfectly aligned with the four cardinal directions: north, south, east, and west, with a margin of error so tiny it can't be called a coincidence. Many researchers believe that the Egyptians achieved this stunning precision by observing the stars, particularly Tuban, the North Star at the time, not today's North Star, which is Polaris. Tuban sat almost directly above the North Pole around 2700 BCE, helping them align their monuments with the heavens and cardinal directions. This has changed since then, because as the world spins on its pole, it also wobbles a little, very slowly. However, enough that Tuban, the Egyptian North Pole star, is no longer near the North Pole today. This process is called axial precession and has definitely affected the way archaeoastronomers have to look at the sky, as the sky continues to change little by little every day. As we zoom into the pyramids themselves, we can start to see the narrow shafts that make up the inside of the Great Pyramid of Khufu. And these architecturally strategic shafts aren't random. There are 4 shafts, including 2 very important ones. One shaft that points directly at Orion's belt, and another to Sirius, the brightest star in the night sky and sacred to the Egyptians. Sirius was connected to the goddess Isis, and the star's annual rising before dawn coincided with the flooding of the Nile, a life-giving event for Egyptian agriculture and growth as a civilization. These alignments show that the pyramids serve not just as tombs, but as cosmic gateways, linking the king's soul with the stars and heavens, as if to help the king reach their gods. Going away from the pyramids and back to hierophanies, remember, hierophanies are when the sacred or divine event is revealed through a natural phenomenon, often involving light or the movement of celestial bodies. We can talk about one of the best and most fascinating hierophanies in ancient Egyptian temple making. Certain temples were assigned so that on specific days of the year, the sunlight would penetrate into the deep sanctuaries. A great example of this is Temple Abu Simbel, where twice a year on February 22nd and October 22nd, the sun's rays travel down a long corridor and light up 3 statues inside the temple, one of which is Pharaoh Ramses II, who is considered a divine being himself. This stunning phenomenon epitomizes hierophanies, showing how people have meticulously created buildings and monuments to pray to the stars and their gods. All of this fascinating architecture and beliefs connect with the idea that Egyptians believed heavily in the concept of the afterlife, as well as it being in the sky. The souls of the deceased pharaohs were thought to become stars among the imperishable ones, the circumpolar stars or the stars that never set, and travel eternally across the heavens. In short, archaeoastronomy can teach us about different cultures, such as Egyptian civilization, just from their monuments and their religions and even their politics. They weren't just building tombs or temples, they were building cosmic monuments that tied heavens and earths together, showcasing their beliefs and the way their world worked.